guys, hope you're doing well. So today I thought I would talk about some tips on how to improve your phrasing and improvisation. Okay, so the idea with improvisation, for me anyway, is you want to be able to play on the spot and improvise with your playing, but make it sound like it's premeditated. So it sounds like it's written, but obviously we know it's not because we're doing it as on the spot, aren't we? We hit record and it's go. Okay, and when you can improvise, and there's very few guitarists, I think, they can improvise as well as they can premeditate, like record and write a solo to do. So say someone like Guthrie, whose track I used at the start there, Wonderful Slippery Thing, just to jam over. He's a kind of a player. He can sound as good improvised as he can if he writes a solo. He probably doesn't even need to write solos. He's so good at improvisation that he'll just lay down an improvised solo, and it's like, yeah, that's it. That's the take. Now, your improvisations are never going to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so you need to get that in your head straight away. It's never going to be as perfect as a well-written solo and just nailed first time. You might get lucky and you might get it. But when I improvise, like at the start of that video, yeah, there's little nuances. I was maybe pushing a tiny bit in time in certain places, but that's the idea of an improvised solo. So, and I really advise, if you are trying to work on your improvisation and phrasing, record yourself as much as you can to listen back, because it's very, very different playing and listening at the same time, and then listening back with a listener's kind of ear. Okay, you'll pick up bits that you didn't while you were playing them. Okay, so that's just a little side note there. So there's many ways that we can we can help and we can achieve better phrasing and improvisation, but I just want to look at one today. Okay, I'm going to do this in many parts, so we'll call this part one. So before I get to part one, I think there's three the three things we need to think about while I improvise. Okay, one, we need to understand what the harmony is and what scales we can play over the track we're trying to play over. Okay, so in this case it's in B minor. So today, just keep things super simple, I'm going to use the B minor pentatonic, position 1. I'm also going to use the B natural minor scale, okay, as known as B Aeolian as well. So I'm going to use the pentatonics and B Aeolian or B natural minor across the neck, but I'm going to stick around this position to keep it simple and so you can see it, because there's going to be a lot going on. Okay, so the three things I think you need. You need to understand the harmony, i.e. what scales I need to learn, or what scales I need to play over it. Okay, that's number one. Two, you need to make sure, if you want good improvisation and good phrasing, that your timing and your time feel is the best it can be. I think the timing is the most important. Take harmony out of it. If your timing is crap, you could play all the scales in the world and you could blitz over the neck. If your timing is crap and shoddy, it's going to sound crap and shoddy. Okay, you need to have good timing. Now, a lot of people think they have good timing until you listen back and go, oh, I was pushing there, I was pulling there. Or that is normally the first thing to spot. Okay, if someone's a great player, if their time feel is off, it's hard to listen to. Okay, in my eyes it is anyway. So make sure your time feel is there. You need to understand the harmony of what to play over, and the third thing, okay, would be the more advanced way, is targeting chord tones and your triads and stuff. But I want to talk mainly about the first two today. So the first, with good time, okay, it's going to help you go a long way, because you can just feel the pulse and just feel the groove, whatever you're trying to play over, and you just sit really well within your playing. Okay, so what I want to do today is just straight away go in the deep end and help you give you some improvisation and some phrasing tips. So the first thing I think about when I improvise, is like I said, you need to know where you're playing. And you need to get out your head that learning 1,000 different scales is going to make you improvise 1,000 times better. It's not the case. You can phrase amazing with one scale. Okay, say if you just took the ones I chose, minor pentatonic and the natural minor, you need to get out your head thinking the more scales I know and I play up and down, the better I am going to be improvising. This is not the case. You'd just be like reading the alphabet. You know, everyone knows the alphabet is A to Z, but that doesn't mean I can, you know, get a degree in English, let's say. I need to be able to take the letters out, form sentences, make words, paragraphs, etc., etc. So just because I know the letters, just because I know the notes, does not mean I can improvise well. There still has to be a method to it. So what I want to talk about today is improving your rhythmic vocabulary. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Now I mean taking a certain rhythm and just repeating the hell out of it, okay? Now why is this beneficial? It's beneficial because after a while doing this and drilling this, it's going to slowly come into your playing. And you're going to come up with really nice tasty phrases because what you're focusing on more is the rhythm and what you play those phrases and not the notes in the scales. Okay, so if I play this track now like I did at the start, I'm just going to come up with a little rhythm, okay? So something like okay, that's my rhythm. Now what I'm going to do is manipulate that rhythm, but with the scales I need to know to play over the track. So you'll hear already just by using that rhythm and making sure I've got a good time. It's going to sound musical, and the rhythm's going to be the rhythm is strong, so it's going to sound good. Okay, so that was just all I just took there. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Say if I'm like, oh, that's quite busy, I might want to keep it simple and go something like, I'll just think of a rhythm now. Da, ba-da-da, ba, ba-da-da, ba, ba-da-da. Okay, so already the scales, I'm not sounding like this. It's hard for me to play like this because I don't play like this, but if I went like I'm not really sure what I'm doing, I'm hesitating. That just makes me sound like I don't really know where I'm going, I'm not confident in what I'm doing. But when you have strong rhythm and you're repeating and you're doing repetition with rhythms, slowly and slowly after time, it's going to come into your playing and they will just pop out, I promise you. So take a particular rhythm, you can come up with anything. Listen to a drummer, something like a drummer would do, and a really strong rhythm is going to make you sound cohesive and make you sound like your improvisation is premeditated. Okay, so I'm not thinking really about note choice when I'm doing that. I'm more thinking sticking to the rhythm, make sure I've got a good time, because it's going to come across the listener. Okay, he knows what he's doing, he's in time. That's a strong rhythm I can pick up on straight away. If I'm just like whittling and not really knowing by all means do it at certain points, but this is more a drill based thing. I wouldn't play a solo just playing the same rhythm over and over again, but it's going to get that kind of habit of doing that into your head. Scott Henderson used a great example when he talked about, you know, the use of rhythm being way more important than almost the notes itself. And he used the example, like if I play all the wrong notes but keep a strong rhythm, see if you can guess what the song is. So if I went... Okay, now all the notes were wrong, but I used strong rhythm, okay, and it sounded like Jingle Bells. At least I hope to your ear it would. So, the idea is you use strong rhythm, making sure you're in time, keep it simple to start with, and use the scales that you're going to be needing over the track. But like I say, the notes are less important than the rhythm you're putting on. And then put it all together and it's going to sound great. So let me just pick another one for your example, then I'll show you the step 2 that you can do with this. So let me just say if I took, if I went like da ba da ba ba, da 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 da. Okay, so already I'm just playing pentatonic basically, and it's already sounding more musical. Now what I might do is say do 3 bars of that, so da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Then on the 4th bar I might change it up and kind of like freestyle something to bring it back round to the 1. So that's more of an idea of where a solo might come from with the start of one anyway. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I'll let it come back round. So 3 bars of that rhythm, then the final bar I'm going to freestyle. Back round. Sorry. Okay, you get the idea. So I'm just, apart from that one horrible note I did, like I said, it's improvisation, you're never going to get it perfect. But if you're making sure your timing is good, your rhythm is strong, you're gonna be on the right lines. It takes time though. You're not just going to be an amazing improviser just because you can play, you know, some rhythms and stuff. You need to really, really drill this stuff in. So take a really, really simple rhythm, like I say, repeat it over the neck, repeat it over a track or a click track or metronome. But then, as you develop that, maybe do 3 bars of the same rhythm. And then on the 4th bar, change it up. Maybe you do a different rhythm, or you just freestyle something like maybe a run. So this is part 1. I'm going to do a second part of this tomorrow and just elaborate more on this and talk about more targeting certain notes. Okay, so i.e. the triads to resolve your lines. But really, really good place to start, taking a rhythmic idea and just repeating it within the scale. So you're manipulating the rhythm within the scales you want to use. Hope that makes sense. You may have to rewind this and watch it back and whatnot, but yeah, it's a good introduction to it, I think, for you. So let me know how you get on. Please write in the comments. Please give the video a like. Ring the bell notification so you know when another video is uploaded. Nice one, guys. Have a good Tuesday afternoon. See you in a bit.